IzAlyssa. IzAlyssa. Yo, let me tell you about Jennifer, a writer and a fighter. She fled the Manhattan light for the Litchfield County night at Connecticut, cottage isolated where the Housatonic ran. Gonna pen her first novel, make a literary stand. But her arrival, independent and attractive, caught the eye of four men, predatory and reactive. There was Johnny, the manager of the gas, Stanley and Andy, unemployed, just trying to pass the time. And poor Matthew, mildly mentally slow, the one who did groceries and planted the seed to grow. He said he saw a breast, a vision beautiful and grand, reporting back to his three friends, right into their hands. Stanley and Andy, they start their nightly prowl, cruising in their boat, making the darkness howl. One day on the river they ambushed the boat, dragged it to the shoreline, no rescue afloat. Then Johnny arrived, the wicked mastermind. Jennifer realized the plot they had designed, it wasn't just for her, but for Matthew's debut sin. A sickening sacrifice to lose what he had within. She fought, she scratched, they ripped her bikini loose, held her down for their violent abusive use. Matthew was hesitant, shy of the sexual deeds, so Johnny and Andy moved in to sow the vile seed. She crawled back to the house, damaged and in pain, but they followed close to do it all over again. Matthew, with the drink, finally gave in to their plea, raped her too, but finished unfulfilled for all to see. The others ridiculed her book, tore up the pages that she made. Stanley, the worst of them, violently sexually swayed. She passed out, utterly gone beneath the shame. The men started to leave and Johnny called out her name. She's a witness, a loose end, we got her tied. He ordered Matthew to go back inside. Matthew returned to the unconscious and still, but remorse had hit him against his own will. He couldn't stab her, so he stained the knife in her blood, told the man he'd done it, that she was gone for good. But Jennifer lived, peace in the manuscript in herself back whole, a fractured, traumatized body, a new vengeance in her soul. She went to a church seeking forgiveness for the plan she made. As the men learned the truth that the victim had not been laid to rest, they beat Matthew up for his deceit and lies. Jennifer called for groceries, wisdom behind her eyes. She knew he delivered, he arrived with the food and the blade. At the cabin she enticed him beneath the tree where they stayed to have sex. A brief moment of twisted and dark connection, then she hung him from the branches. No time for reflection, and dropped his body, awaited hushed into the lake. A silent cold tribute for justice's fierce sake. Next was Johnny at the gas station. She appeared, seductively directing him the way he had always feared or wanted. She stopped the car far from the road and the light, a gun pointed at him, ending the day and starting the night. Remove your clothing, the hunter gave her order and a cue. He insisted it was her fault, that her clothes were the reason they drew near. She pretended to believe, a flicker of a sigh. Come back to the cottage for a hot bath, a sweet seductive lie. She gave him a hand job, a promise of twisted delight. Then he mentioned Matthew's missing, vanishing into the night. She told him she killed him, a joke he thought he could hear. As he neared release, she brought the knife that Matthew left near and severed his genitals. A scream of painful release. She locked the bathroom door, found her opera music's piece. She listened to his screams while bleeding out on the floor. Dumped his body in the basement, burning his clothes for more than just concealment, a psychological cleanse. One down, two to go to make these crimes reach the end. Stanley and Andy, they knew that Johnny had vanished from the scene. They took the boat to the cabin, both of them looking mean. Andy went ashore with an axe, ready to fight. Jennifer swam to the boat, embracing the dark in the night. She pushed Stanley overboard, sending him into the wet. Andy tried to attack her, but she escaped with the deadly vengeance. With the axe, he bottled her own defense. Andy swam out to rescue, but to reach no recompense. Jennifer plunged the axe deep into his back, killing him instantly, no turning back from the attack. Stanley swam for the boat, grabbing the motor to climb, begging her not to kill him. Running out of time, she repeated his order, the cruelty he had made. Suck it, bitch, the promise of justice she paid. She started the motor, a roar beneath the sky, disemboweling him slowly as she sped quickly by. Propeller met flesh, a final grisly sight. Jennifer drove away into the cold, cold light. IzAlyssa.